Welcome back, my dear students. Today, let us continue our session with fluid and its properties. So, next topic is compressibility and bulk modulus. So, before that, we shall know what is this bulk modulus. So, this bulk modulus. So, when a uniform element is considered, let us consider this as a uniform element, and it is subjected to three mutually perpendicular stresses sigma. Okay. Then, in this condition, ratio of this direct stress to the volumetric strain, whatever the change in its shape or volume is called, the ratio is called as the bulk modulus, and it is defined as K. When a uniform element is subjected to equal stresses in three mutually perpendicular direction, the ratio of direct stress, to the volumetric strain is called as bulk modulus. So this was the definition of bulk modulus, and we here study in context with our fluid. So what is bulk modulus? It is defined as the ratio of compressive stress. So it is direct stress, but here what is happening, we are taking that stress, okay, some force. So here bulk modulus of elasticity K, which is defined as the ratio of compressive stress to the volumetric strain. And what is compressibility? Compressibility is nothing but it is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. So let us consider see here in this figure. Consider a cylinder fitted with the piston as shown in figure. So let this is the V. Let V be the volume of the gas enclosed in the cylinder, and P is the pressure of a gas when volume is V. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಇದರ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೋ V, ಅವಾಗ ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ P. ಓಕೆ, ಇವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಂದ್ರೇನು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪಿಸ್ಟನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್, ಲೆಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಪಿ ಇತ್ತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು, ಡಿ ಪಿ. ಸಿ, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ is increased to P plus dP. Then what will happen to the volume? The volume decreases. ಮೊದಲು V ಇದ್ದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೈನಸ್ ಡಿ ವಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವಿ ಟು ವಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಡಿ ವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು, ಡಿ ಪಿ. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲು ಪಿ ಇತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಡಿ ಪಿ ಎಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ವಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಮೈನಸ್ ಡಿ ವಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು, ಡಿ ವಿ. ಓಕೆ, whenever we take the volumetric strain, what is this volumetric strain? It is the ratio of change in strength. 1 minute. This volumetric strain is nothing but the ratio of change, okay, the ratio of change in volume towards the original volume. I am writing with the mouse, so it is right there. Okay, just listen. Volumetric strain ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, change in volume to the original volume. So what it happens, when the pressure we increase by dP, then the decrease in volume is dV. And here see, volumetric strain is dV by, that is change in volume by original volume. So here we take negative. Why? Because it is going to be decreasing, the volume is decreasing, so this negative sign we are taking. Next, ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the negative sign indicates the volume decreases with increase of pressure. Volume decreases with increase of pressure. So what does the bulk modulus happen? So bulk modulus is equal to increase of pressure. ಎಷ್ಟು increase ಆಯಿತು, dP divided by volumetric strain. So dp divided by volumetric strain minus dv by v. So whenever we equate it, we will get minus dp by dv into v. So the value of k in contact with our fluid mechanics is, the value of k is what? The bulk modulus value is k is equal to minus dp by dv by into v. This you have to remember. It will help in solving the problem which comes later on. Then what is compressibility? It is the reciprocal of the bulk modulus. So this was about the compressibility and bulk modulus. So I'll go to the next. Surface tension. So what is the surface tension? So for example, for surface tension is ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅಂಡರ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೀರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹುಳಗಳು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ನೀರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹುಳಗಳು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಓಡಾಡ್ತವೆ? ಸೊ ಸಮ್ frame like structure will be there on the water, or I'll tell you. First you see what is this surface tension. So surface tension is defined as the tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid. It is what? It is a tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid in contact with a gas, or on the surface of two immiscible liquids. Two immiscible liquids ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Immiscible ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದ್ ಎರಡು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅವನ್ನೆರಡನ್ನು ಒಂದೇ ಬಾಟಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅವು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ? immiscible liquid ಅಂತೀವಿ. Such that the contact surface behaves like membrane under tension. So ಏನಂತೆ? Surface tension is defined as the tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid in contact with a gas, or on the surface between two immiscible liquids, such that the contact surface behaves like a membrane. The contact surface, if there are two immiscible liquids, then it is contact surface. If there is no liquids, only water is there, then it is the free surface. See here, free surface, which is ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ surface behaves like a membrane. It behaves like a boundary, okay, thin film under tension. So the magnitude of this force per unit length of free surface will have the same value as per the surface energy per unit area. So this surface tension is denoted by the letter sigma. The SI unit is Newton per meter. In MKS system it is kgf per meter. kgf film ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ? So kgf per meter ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಯಾವುದು? MKS unit ಅಲ್ಲಿ surface tension ನ unit. So here what is the main is the apparent physical consequence of this unbalanced force along the surface is to create a hypothetical skin or membrane. So see the figure here. So consider these molecules A, B, C of a liquid in this mass liquid. ಇದು ನೀರಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So the molecule A, this molecule A is attracted in all the directions. So it is getting attracted in all the direction. Full ಮುಳುಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ A molecule water ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So it is attracted in all the direction. So due to this attraction, an internal reaction is created. So ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಔಟರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಎ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಎ ಈಸ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ equally by surrounding molecules of the liquid. Thus the resulting force, what will be the net force here? Zero, right? Thus the resultant force acting on the molecule A is zero. But see here in the molecule B, which is situated near the free surface. So free surface hatra situated ide. Alli enagutte? It is acted upon by the upward and downward forces. It is acted upon both the forces, that is upward and downward forces, which are unbalanced. Here A molecule is balanced, but here B is unbalanced. But net force yakade irutte? ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ net force. So net force will be in the downward direction only. So it will form here, illen form aguttadu ಇಲ್ಲಿ tension create ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So tension create ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? This membrane will act as a that membrane, this area will act as a membrane. Okay, when you come to the C molecule, the molecule C situated on the free surface, okay, of a liquid does experience a resultant downward force. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, so it is acted upon only the downward direction, right? It is acted upon only by the downward direction. So due to this downward direction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಈ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಏರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಆ ಏರಿಯಾ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ membrane. Thus the free surface of a liquid acts like a very thin film. This membrane or this boundary will act like a thin film under tension. So under tension ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀರ್ಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಹುಳ ಅಡ್ಡಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾವು, ನೋಡಿದಿರಾ? Okay, so this under tension of the surface of the liquid as though it is an elastic membrane under tension. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋರ್ಸು, ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಫ್ರೀ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಏರಿಯಾ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ exhibits the property of surface tension. So it creates the hypothetical skin or membrane. Okay, ಇವಾಗ ಓದಿ. surface tension is defined as the tensile force. Is that surface tension is the tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid in contact with a gas. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಏರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Okay, in contact with the gas or on the surface of immiscible liquid such that the contact surface, what is the surface, the boundary acts like a membrane under tension. So I hope you understand about the surface tension. If you get an idea, that's enough. You will get digested by coming classes. Okay, now we'll see the surface tension on the water droplet. Okay, so surface tension on the liquid droplet and bubble. So first we will see the case for the liquid droplet. So consider a small spherical droplet of a liquid of radius r. On the entire surface of the droplet, the tensile force due to surface tension will be acting. So here ಇದು ಫುಲ್ ಇತ್ತು ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಏನು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ಲೆಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ಲೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಹಾಲೋ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟರ್. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಟೆಡ್ ಡೌನ್, ಓಕೆ, when it is made into half, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the entire surface of the droplet, the tensile force, see here the tensile force due to the surface tension will be acting. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅದು ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ನೆಟ್, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಂಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so let sigma be the surface tension of the liquid, delta P or P be the pressure intensity inside the droplet. Next, R is the radius of the droplet, D is the dia of the droplet. Okay, let the droplet be cut into two halves. The force acting on half will be, so what is the force acting when the drop is cutted, or it is cutted equally by half? Then what is the forces acting here? ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್, ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ಸರ್ಕಂಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದು ಏನು ಏರಿಯಾ ಇದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಟೂ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ half of the liquid droplet. So we will see now. So first one force ಯಾವುದು? The tensile forces due to surface tension acting around the circumference. So ಏನ್ tensile forces acting around the circumference of the cut portion as shown in figure. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತದು, sigma into circumference of the circle. Okay, this is in the form of circle, right? So sigma into circumference, so sigma into 2 pi r. What is the circumference of the circle? 2 pi r. If we consider as diameter d, then it is sigma into pi d. ಸೊ 2 forces ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. one force ಯಾವುದು tensile force due to surface tension, ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು pressure force on the area pi by 4 d square. What is the area of the circle? Pi by 4 into d square. So what is the comment? Delta p ಅಥವಾ small p pressure, this small pressure into what? Area of the circle with respect to radius ಏನದು pi r square, or p into pi by 4 into d square. Area into the pressure, this one force, circumference into the surface tension, this one force. So these two forces will act on the surface tension on a liquid droplet. Okay, so now these two forces, illen force act agutto jotege ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ force area ಮೇಲೆ act ಆಗೋದು plus circumference will be what? ಒಂದರದೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದು, ಒಂದೇ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಇಂದಲ್ವಾ. So it will be equal and opposite under equilibrium condition. So under equilibrium condition, the tensile force due to the surface tension and also the pressure force on the area will be equal and opposite. So what we can do, we can equate it. So this is what pressure force, this is what surface tension. So when we equate it, we'll get a equation for pre or pressure intensity, that is sigma into 2 pi d divided by pi by 4 t square, and it will be equated, or it will be solved. It will become p is equal to 4 sigma into d. So this is important to solve the exam, to solve the problem in future. Okay, so the pressure intensity of a liquid droplet with what anta question kelidre enu formula, p is equal to 4 sigma by d, where d is the diameter of the droplet. So this equation shows that decrease in diameter of the droplet. So see here, this p is inversely proportional to d. Inversely proportional to d andre enu, as there is decrease in dia of the droplet, the pressure intensity inside the droplet increases. So it is inversely proportional andre ಒಂದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so it was about the pressure intensity inside the liquid droplet. So now we shall see the pressure intensity inside the hollow bubble. So hollow bubble allೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, hollow bubble ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ, liquid droplet ಗೂ bubble ಗೂ ಏನು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, this liquid droplet will be filled with water, but bubble is air. Inside it will be air, correct? Inside air irutte. So the hollow bubble, like a soap bubble in air, has two surfaces in contact with air. One inside ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, so ಇದು inside circumference ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is also in contact with air, but that air is inner air of the bubble, and this outside in circumference ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು, that will be contact with the air with the environment air. So what will happen, thus the two surfaces are subject to surface tension. So same concept, but here because of the two surfaces will multiply with, see here, p into pi by 4 d square is equal to summation into 2 pi d, right? Here p into summation pi by 4 d square is equal to, we will multiply with this 2. Why this 2 is multiplied? Because of the 2 circumference ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 2 ನ multiply ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So what does p becomes? This p, the pressure intensity inside the hollow bubble, it will be 8 sigma by d, where d is the diameter of the droplet. So whenever, sorry, this is not droplet, this is bubble. Okay, so whenever they tell to find us the pressure inside a droplet, we have to use this equation. Whenever they tell to find the pressure inside a bubble, so bubble, we have to use the formula this, that is p is equal to 8 sigma by d. So this was about the surface tension of the liquid droplet and hollow bubble. Next we shall see some of the examples. So find the surface tension in a soap bubble. See here, find the surface tension of a soap bubble. So it is about the bubble. We have to remember the formula for bubble, that is P is equal to what? Soap bubble, right? P is equal to 8 summation by 8 sigma by D. It will come to our mind whenever we see in the question only. Okay, find the surface tension in a, we have to find the surface tension in a bubble of 40 mm diameter. So diameter is given 40 mm. When the inside pressure, so they have given P 2.5 Newton per meter square above atmospheric pressure. Okay, so they have given diameter of the bubble. What is that? 40 mm is given, right? So 40 mm diameter is given. Next, what is given? They have given the pressure, inside pressure, that is 2.5 Newton per meter square. So this is meter square. So this is mm. So we have to convert this mm into, that is 40 into 10 power minus 3 will happen. Okay. Now we shall see the answer. So see here, diameter of the bubble is 40 mm. That is converted to meter. Next, pressure in excess of outside, that is above atmospheric pressure, means it's a pressure, right? 2.5. So for soap bubble, using the equation what? P is equal to 8 sigma by D. So whenever you substitute and solve, we will get summation sigma is equal to 2.5 into 40 into 10 power minus 3 divided by 8 Newton per meter. So the answer will be 0.0125 Newton per meter. This is just substitution problem. So I am doing here in the slide. Just what we did, we just substituted in the given formula. Okay. Another example we'll see. So the pressure outside the droplet of a water of diameter is 0.04 mm is 10.32 Newton per centimeter square, and it is given as it is atmospheric pressure. Okay, calculate the pressure within the droplet if surface tension is given as 0.0725 Newton per meter of water. See here, the pressure outside the droplet of water of diameter. So they have given the pressure, outside pressure. Okay, and it is excess pressure outside. Okay, now calculate the pressure within the droplet. We have to calculate the pressure inside the droplet. So they have given a pressure which is outside, means the pressure inside the droplet in excess of the outside pressure. So what we have to find? So some trick is there. See here, calculate the pressure within the droplet. We have to find the P, but the value given here, the pressure value given is the pressure from the outside. So whatever it is given, first we will note down the given, that is D is what? 0.04 mm. We will convert it to meter, and this pressure outside the droplet is given as 10.32. So this is the pressure outside the droplet. Okay, it is 10.32 into, it will be converted to what? Centimeter per meter square ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು into 10 power 4 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 10 power 4 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Newton per meter square ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, now surface tension is also given 0.0725 Newton per meter. So what we have to find? We have to find first pressure, that is P is equal to 4 sigma divided by D. So whatever the answer here comes, it is not the answer, because it is the pressure inside the droplet in excess of the outside pressure is given. Whenever the outside pressure is given, so that is connected with this one. But what is they have given? We have to calculate the pressure within the droplet. We have to calculate the pressure within the droplet. So another P, we have to find that pressure inside the droplet is equal to whatever the solution we are getting here, this plus pressure outside the droplet. So this will be the answer. So I'll show you by solving. See here, so diameter of the droplet is given 0.04 mm. So pressure outside the droplet is what? 10.32 Newton per centimeter square, that is 10.32 into 10 power 4 Newton per meter square. So we have a formula for pressure inside the droplet only, okay, but the given is outside the droplet, okay. So what is given here, we know this formula, we will substitute it. So P is equal to 4 sigma by D, so 4 into sigma is 0.0725 divided by D is 0.04 10 power minus 3. We will get the pressure inside the droplet, okay, as 0.725 Newton per centimeter square, okay. Now in addition to the pressure outside the droplet, in addition to what, the pressure ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಾವೇನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕಂತೆ, pressure inside the droplet. So just add it. So P, what is this P, you add it, that is 10.32. You add the pressure outside the droplet. So see here, P plus pressure outside the droplet will be your answer, that is 0.725 plus 10.32. So here thinking of the question is very important. Whenever they give outside pressure or atmospheric pressure like that, we have to add that atmospheric pressure to the pressure inside the droplet what we have taken here. The value which we got here, we have to add that value, okay. Next we will see about capillarity. So what is this capillarity? So capillarity is defined as the phenomenon of rise or see capillarity is defined as the phenomenon of rise or fall of a liquid surface in a small tube relative to the adjacent general level of liquid when the tube is held vertically in the liquid. So what they are telling? So for capillarity, so this all terms we have already learned, just we are refreshing our knowledge. So what is this capillarity? So capillarity is defined as rise or fall of a liquid. So let us consider this is a vessel, and in that vessel we have water, some liquid, okay. So whenever we insert a glass tube, and that glass tube should be open from both the ends, and that glass tube is open from both the ends, what will happen, this liquid will enter the glass tube and here the water will rise, right? Here the water will rise. So this rise of water, okay, or this rise of liquid, or sometimes if the liquid is somewhat different liquid, okay, like heavy mercury or the liquid which has more viscosity, like this means what it happen, it will fall, the water will not, or the liquid in this container will not rise, okay, it will fall. So that phenomenon, that process is called what, capillarity. So what is this capillarity? It is defined as the phenomenon of rise or fall of a liquid surface, okay, rise or fall of a liquid surface in a small tube relative to the general level, whatever the level is there, no, okay, ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೇಲಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಿಂತ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So it is defined as the phenomenon of rise or fall of a liquid surface in a small tube relative to the adjacent general level of a liquid when the tube is held vertically in the liquid, okay. So this rise of a liquid surface, if there is a rise in liquid surface, it is known as capillary rise. If there is a fall in the liquid surface, what is called, it is called as capillary depression. So when there is rise, it is called as capillary rise, and when there is a fall in a liquid, it is called capillary depression, okay. So why does this happen, okay, see here why it happens means, so if the liquid molecules, so if take this condition, okay, this condition where the liquid is to rise, okay, where there is a rise of liquid is there, okay. I'll show you the next slide, wait. So see here, liquid is there, a tube, this is the glass tube. I'm writing from the mouse, it is difficult, okay. So this is the glass tube, right? When it is inserted vertically inside the liquid, so the liquid rises in that tube. Okay, so this rise of a tube, just rise aitu from the liquid surface, idenu height of rise. Okay, then okay, I was explaining 1 minute. This is called height. So what I am explaining, then is water molecules, correct? So these water molecules, water molecules madhye enirutte, there is a pressure, there is an attraction. Attraction between the same molecules is called what? Cohesion. The attraction between the different molecules is called adhesion. So water gu water madhye attraction ಗೆ ಏನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು? Cohesion ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Water ಮತ್ತೆ wall of the tube attraction ಗೆ ಏನಂತೀವಿ? Adhesion ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ adhesion ಅನ್ನೋದು cohesion ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, when the force of adhesion, okay, when the attraction of adhesion is more than the cohesion of the molecules, of the cohesion of the liquid surface. See here, yawaga cohesion between the liquid surface is less, okay, is less than the adhesion force of liquid and tube, then the water will rise that. So water will rise. See here, attraction between the wall of the tube, attraction means adhesion, adhesion means what? It is between the wall of the tube and liquid molecules. Okay, it is between the wall of the tube and liquid molecules. So the attraction between the wall of the tube and the liquid molecules is strong enough. It is strong enough means what? It is higher, it is greater, it is strong enough to overcome the mutual attraction. Overcome the mutual attraction means overcome the cohesion force between the molecules, the attraction force between the same molecules, and pull them up the wall, and that makes the water to pull them up the wall, that makes the water to rise. Okay, in this process the liquid is set to wet the solid surface. In this process the liquid is set to wet the surface. See here, so this is called as wetting. Okay, it is called as wetting of the solid surface. So this capillarity, we will understand this in next slides. Okay, it is expressed in terms of what? Centimeter or mm of a liquid. Its value depends upon the specific weight. So its value depends upon what? Three things. It depends upon the specific weight of the liquid, diameter of the tube, and also the surface tension of the liquid. So three depends upon the three factors. What is that? Specific weight of the liquid, whatever the liquid is there, its specific weight, and the diameter of the tube which you insert. Okay, and also the surface tension of the liquid. So it depends upon these three things. So what is capillarity? It defines the phenomenon of rise or fall of a liquid surface in a small tube relative to adjacent general level of a liquid when the tube is held vertically in the liquid. See, now we will see the expression for capillary rise. Okay, so consider a glass tube of small diameter d. Okay, opened at both ends. So it is important, open at both ends and is inserted in a liquid. So the liquid will rise in the tube above the level of the liquid. So what is this? Capillary rise. So the liquid will rise in the tube above the level of the liquid. So let h be the height of the liquid in the tube. This h is the height of the liquid in the tube. Okay, under a state of equilibrium. Okay, this was about the figure. Now they are telling under the state of equilibrium condition iddaga enagutte, this weight of the liquid, this weight of the liquid of height h, this weight, ee weight idella, this weight of the liquid, okay, of height h is balanced by the force. It should be balanced na, to be stable or to remain in equilibrium. It should be balanced, right? So it should be balanced by the force at the surface of the liquid. It is balanced at the force at the surface of the liquid in the tube. But the force at the surface of the liquid in the tube is due to what? So here, so surface mele, in any liquid surface, what is the force? It is what? Surface tension. But the force at the surface of the liquid is in the tube is due to the surface tension. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಈ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ h is the height of the liquid in the tube which is raised, okay, and this height of the liquid should be in equilibrium. What it happens, it should be balanced by the force, and that balanced by the force, and which force? At the surface of the liquid there is a force called surface tension which acts on this liquid. So this sigma is, so this is meniscus. This is called as meniscus. Okay, for water it will form like this meniscus, and if you take the mercury it will fall like this meniscus. Okay, so see meniscus. This meniscus adaga, so this is what? This is surface tension. So the angle between the tube and the surface tension force direction. The angle between the surface tension force and the wall of the tube is called as theta. Fine. Next we'll see the slide. So let sigma be the surface tension of the liquid. Okay. Let sigma be the surface tension of the liquid and theta be the angle between the liquid and the glass tube. I showed you, right? So the weight of the liquid, so at equilibrium the weight of the liquid of height h in the tube is, how we can find the weight? That is area of the tube into h. Area, this area we want, right? Area of the tube into h is h into what? Rho into g. What is this rho? This is nothing but the density into acceleration due to gravity. So this rho into g. So what is the area of the tube? Tube is in the circular tube, right? So pi by 4 into d square into h, which is nothing but this density into g. So pi by 4 d square into h into rho into g is the weight of the liquid of height h in the tube, where rho is the density of the liquid. Next, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು force ಯಾವುದಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So the vertical component of the surface tension. See here, this vertical component of the surface tension. So what will be the vertical component? So this will be the vertical component, right? I'll show you. See, this will be the vertical component. So with that vertical component, which angle is there? There is theta, right? So if this angle is theta, then the vertical, what will happen to the vertical component? It will be directly sigma into cos term. Your first year engineering, elements of civil engineering, remember? So sigma into cos term. Now what it happens? So vertical component of the surface tensile force, what it will be? Sigma into circumference. Yes, correct. Sigma into the circumference into the cos theta. So sigma into circumference of the circle pi d into cos theta. So this force, surface tension force in equilibrium, this surface tension force and this would be in equilibrium, means these both are equal. So what we do? We will equate this both equation. See here, weight of the liquid of height h, it is equated with the vertical component of the surface tensile force. So once we equate, we can find the h value, right? Height of the liquid value, that is sigma pi d by cos theta divided by pi d by 4 d square into rho into g. So by cancelling the terms, for 1d the square will goes on. After simplifying, you will get h is equal to what? 4 sigma cos theta rho g d. Okay, h is equal to 4 sigma cos theta divided by rho g d. So this is the important formula which you have to remember. What is h? H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho g d. So what happens if theta is 0? So if the value of theta between water and the clean glass tube is approximately equal to 0, so theta 0 adre, so what is cos theta? Cos 0, 1. Okay, hence cos theta is equal to unity. Then the rise of water will be h is equal to 4 sigma divided by rho g d. So this contact angle theta depends upon the liquid and the solid. If theta is less than 90 degree, okay, if theta is less than 90 degree, the liquid is said to wet the solid. If theta is more than 90 degree, it will not wet the solid. It will not wet the solid. If theta is less than 90 only, it will wet the solid and it will rise up. Okay. If you follow this meniscus, angle should be what? Below 90 degree. If it is in depression, capillary depression, the theta value will be more than 90. Okay. So for example, water wets glass and mercury on the other hand does not wet the glass. So see here. So wetting of fluid. What is this? This is wetting of the fluid. So non-wetting of the fluid. See here. Wetting is not there. Some gap is there. Here it is like this. Okay. Here it is like this. But here some gap is there. See here. Okay. So this was about wetting and non-wetting of fluid. So next we will see the expression for capillary fall. If the glass tube is dipped in the mercury, see here, the glass tube is dipped in mercury. The level, so this is typed. The level of mercury in the tube will be lower than the general level. So this is general level. The level of the capillary depression will be less than the general level of the mercury, as shown in figure. See here. So H is less than 0, some negative value. Okay. For that we will find the expression. So let H be the height of the depression. So then in equilibrium, so in the capillary rise ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ same ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Then in equilibrium, two forces are acting in the mercury inside the tube. First one is due to the surface tension, another one due to the weight. Okay. So first one due to the surface tension, what it will be? Sigma pi d into x cos theta. It will not change, it will be same. Okay. The surface tension will be same, sigma into pi d into cos theta. Second force is due to the hydrostatic force. So what is this hydrostatic force? We will learn in the second module. It's about the hydrostatic force only. So due to this hydrostatic force acting upward and is equal to the intensity of pressure at depth. So this pressure at a depth h into area, this hydrostatic force is given by h into area here. So when these two forces are equated, so this is the due to hydrostatic force. Okay. And rho g h into pi by 4 d square, it is due to the what? Surface tension. See here. Sigma pi d cos theta. Okay. 1 minute. Sigma pi d cos theta is what? Due to the surface tension, and second force is due to the h into area. So here it is elaborated, that is E is the pressure intensity into pi by 4 into d square. Okay, area, h into area. So this is expression for this, they are giving h into area. Here there no, for this they are giving the expression. So what is y p is? Here see, here p is taken according to figure. So it is the pressure intensity. Okay. So p into pi by 4 into d square. So what is p? P is nothing but rho gh, pressure of a liquid, given by pressure intensity is given by rho gh. So rho gh into pi by 4 into d square. Now this force is equated with the surface tension force. So it is equated. So what with value of h? We will get 4 sigma cos theta by rho gd. 4 sigma cos theta by rho gd. It is the value of expression for capillary fall. So the theta for mercury and the glass tube is 128 degree. Theta for mercury and glass tube is 128 degree. It's a bit, gate bit. Remember that. Okay. We will see some of the examples. So first example, calculate the capillary rise in the glass tube of 2.5 mm diameter. So D is given. First note down what are the values given. So see 2.5 mm. mm ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಮೀಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. immersed vertically, so here two cases are given, water and mercury. And remember, with the water ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ theta will be 0 and water ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ capillary rise terms numericals ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ density ಎಷ್ಟು 1000. okay, so vertically in water and mercury, take surface tensions. So surface tension is given for water is 0.0725 Newton per meter and for water, and 0.52 Newton per meter for mercury in contact with air. The specific gravity for mercury is given as 13.6. The angle of contact is 130 degree. So whenever specific gravity for mercury is given, what we can find? We can find the density of mercury. So it is 13.6 into 1000, right? So now we will solve the problem. So diameter of the tube is given, noted. Surface tension of the water is given, noted. Surface tension of mercury is given, noted. Specific gravity of the mercury is given 13.6. With that, what we have to assume, that is theta is 0 for water and density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. This you have to keep in mind whenever the water comes into picture. So next we will solve. So density of this is mercury, 13.6 into 1000 kg per meter cube. So first case, capillary rise of water, theta is 0. See here. So H is equal to 4 sigma by rho GD. So 4 sigma by rho GD. So simplify, substitute, simplify, you will get 0.0118 meter. So convert it into 1.18 centimeter. So you will get the answers. Second case for mercury. So angle of contact between the mercury and the glass tube, theta is 130 degree given in the question. So H is equal to 4 sigma cos theta by rho GD. This is the equation for capillary fall. Whenever mercury comes into picture, we have to calculate the capillary depression. So 4 into sigma into cos 130, 13.6 thousand, 9.81 into 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. So what you will get? Minus 0.004 meter. So why this negative sign? Negative sign is nothing but the capillary depression. So answer is minus 0.4 centimeter. This is how we solve a problem on capillarity. We'll see another example. Okay, so find out the minimum size of the glass tube that can be used to measure water level. So we have to find out the minimum size of the glass tube. We have to find what? Diameter of the glass tube. The capillary rise in the tube is to be restricted. So it is to be restricted. Capillary rise. So H is equal to 2 mm. They are given. Okay, H is equal to 2 mm means what? 2 into 10 power minus 3 meter. So consider surface tension of water. So see here, surface tension of water. So what point should come to your mind? That is theta is equal to 0. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. It should come to your mind. So in contact with theories, so surface tension value is given Newton per meter. Surface tension value. So see here, so H is noted, surface tension is noted. Let D be the diameter of the tube. Yes, we will take. So angle theta is 0. So what formula we have? We have only one formula. H is equal to 4 sigma by rho GD. So what is H? H to be restricted to 2 mm. So 2 into 10 power minus 3. 4 into sigma value they have given rho, density of water, G 9.81 into D we have to find. So when we simplify, we'll get D as 0.015 meter. That is 1.5 centimeter. The minimum diameter of the tube should be 1.5 centimeter. So this is the type of problems we can see in the concept capillarity. Okay, next we'll see another topic. Let's see, which is vapor pressure. Okay, so what is this vapor pressure? Before knowing about vapor pressure, so what is vaporization? So vaporization already you have learnt in your class 11th and class 12th, in your 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th also. So what is vaporization? Change from the liquid state, a change from the liquid state to gaseous state, a change from the liquid state to gaseous state is known as what? Vaporization. And this vaporization occurs because of what? Continuous escaping of molecules through the free liquid surface. Whenever the liquid is heated at boiling point at 100 degrees centigrade, what happens? The liquid convert into vapors, and the vaporization occurs because of the continuous escaping of molecules. What molecules? Water vapor molecules through the free surface of a liquid. So it is called as vaporization. Okay. So now what is vapor pressure? So consider, see here, consider a closed container. Okay. Consider a closed container, and in that container it is closed. Okay, it is closed. In that container at half we will fill what? Water. Okay, it is filled with water at half. Okay, this is the film of the boundary of what? Or liquid surface of the water. Whenever this system, a closed container which is half filled with water, is heated. Okay, whenever it is heated, so at 100 degrees centigrade, so at boiling point ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Vaporization starts. This, when vaporization takes place, molecules escape from the free surface of a liquid. So here molecule, so the water molecules will escape. Where it will go? It will go to the closed container of the, for which it has closed container, no? There the water molecules will go. Okay, when vaporization takes place, the molecules escapes from the free surface of a liquid. These vapor molecules get accumulated in the space between the free liquid surface and the top of the vessel. So it will get accumulated here in the free surface between this liquid surface and the top of the container. So these accumulated vapor pressures, these accumulated these accumulated vapors exerts pressure. These accumulated vapors exerts what? Pressure on the liquid surface. Okay, these vapors exert pressure on the liquid surface, and this pressure is known as what? Vapor pressure. The pressure exerted by the vapors on the liquid surface is called as vapor pressures, or vapor pressures at which liquid is converted into vapors. The pressure at which liquid is converted into vapors is also called as vapor pressure. Fine, understood. So the pressure created by the vapor molecules here, vapor on the liquid surface, the free liquid surface, is known as what? Vapor pressure. So vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by the vapor on the liquid surface. Or you can also write as the pressure at which the liquid is converted into vapors. So this was about the vapor pressure. The pressure exerted by the vapor on the liquid surface. So know the concepts. Okay. So since it is basics properties, know the concepts. Next, cavitation. So what is this cavitation? So this cavitation is nothing but whenever, see, 1 minute, I'll tell you the first definition. So cavitation is the phenomenon. It is a process of formation of what? Vapor bubbles of a flowing liquid in a region where the pressure of the liquid falls below the vapor pressure, and this sudden collapse and sudden collapsing of these vapor bubbles in a region of higher pressure. So when this happens, okay, what are the process happening? That process, the I will tell you with an example. Okay, else will not understand. So let this be the pipe. Okay, consider this as a pipe. Okay, so in this pipe, what is flowing? So this cavitation occurs in fluid which is flowing. So the fluid is in what? Motion. Okay. And another point is, here it is at low pressure. Okay. Low pressure. And here in that same another point it is high pressure. Okay. Here it is low pressure and here it is high pressure. So at the low pressure in the flowing liquid, what forms? Vapor bubbles will be formed. Okay. This is the region of low pressures. This is the region of high pressures. So these vapor bubbles are formed in the liquid. So it is a region where the vapor bubbles are forming in the low pressure zone. Okay. When this vapor bubbles is transferred to high pressure, okay, these air bubbles or vapor bubbles, what does it happen? It will collapse. Collapse under, it will destroy itself. Okay. When the vapor bubbles from low pressure to high pressure it comes, it will collapse. Okay. It will collapse. When it collapse, very high or tremendous rise of pressure will be there. So due to collapsing of this, there will be a rise of pressure. So because of this rise of pressure, okay, so when this vapor comes here to the high zone, high pressure zone, so here the vapor bubbles, what it will collapse, and due to this collapse, rise of pressure will happen. So this rise of pressures in the high pressure zone cause heating action, cause heating action on the walls of this pipe. So they cause heating action on the surface of the pipe. So thus here due to the heating action, cavities are formed. Okay, so these cavities are formed and it will leads to cavitation. So thus the process name is cavitation. So what is cavitation? So the cavitation is the phenomenon of formation of vapor bubbles of a flowing liquid in a region where the pressure of a liquid falls below the vapor pressure, and sudden collapsing of these vapor bubbles in a region of higher pressure. So when the vapor bubble collapse, a very high pressure is created. So the metallic surface about which the liquid is flowing is subjected to this high pressure, which causes what? Heating action on the surfaces. Okay. So these heating action is converted to cavities. So thus cavities are formed on the metallic surface and hence the name it is cavitation. So this whole process is called as cavitation. Okay. So the bubbles of these vapors are carried by the flowing liquid into the region of high pressure where they collapse. So giving rise to high impact pressure. So the pressure developed by the collapsing bubbles so high that the material from the adjoining boundaries get eroded. Okay, get eroded and cavities are formed. This process is known as cavitation. Okay, friends. Okay, this was about the fluid and their properties, first part of first module. Okay, so I hope you understand the concept which I have explained. Thank you. Have a good day.